Namaste, everybody. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. I'm joining from the UK. Despite my background, these are not UK mountains, and I will be back in Nepal soon. But I didn't want to miss this event, so I'm glad to be able to join you virtually. Thank you very much for the remarks already from the officiating secretary and from Reto and Baljit. Hello also to Attorney General Dipendra Shah. It's nice to see you on the call. I'm really pleased to see how well this partnership with Label Step is flourishing. I was lucky enough to be able to get out into Lumbini province before and see the work of this partnership in the sort of early days, to meet some of the weavers who are working on in the project, and also to see the kind of really proud history of textiles and weaving and carpet manufacture in Nepal. And I think, as Vito said, there's nothing quite like the physical connection with some of that kind of textiles work, meeting the people, seeing the products, being able to touch, feel the kind of the weaving work. There's a lot of really impressive personal skill and effort that goes into making what are really beautiful objects. And the thing I wanted to talk about today, though, is that in reality that's not enough, right? And I think what we're seeing here is how you build the business case for why that kind of beauty and quality matters, and how it drives inclusive growth. So what I think is really important is that it isn't just about reviving an industry in Nepal that has been struggling. This is actually about the value of this is about the growth of Nepal and the growth of Nepal's economy in a way that is inclusive. And that's not just because it's the right thing to do, and not just because it's the fair thing to do. This is about creating a genuinely sustainable jobs in productive sectors that can help Nepal reach middle income status. And the fact that we're able to do that in a sector where women are employed in large numbers is really, really important. It's also really, really important that we're kind of getting out of Kathmandu. So this obviously, as we just said, isn't about kind of pushing business away from Kathmandu, but it's about making sure that it has a more sustainable, equitable basis across the country and is able to create jobs in places where historically unemployment has been higher, and certainly employment outside of the formal sector has been lower. So higher, sorry. So I think that's really, really important for us from the kind of UKA perspective. But I think it's also really, really important for this idea of inclusive growth. So I think the real emphasis here needs to be on the fact that this isn't just about a kind of an industry that we all want to see thrive, but it's about creating growth in the right way for Nepal, because that is what will drive up quality. Having that broader base of making sure that we're being able to include women in the formal sector and that we're able to get jobs outside of Kathmandu is about quality for me, and I think that's a really, really important thing to keep in mind, that this isn't just a kind of sort of development program where we're doing this because it's the right thing to do. We're doing this because it's a growth project as well, and that we think it's the right thing to do for growth. So I think the question is, how do we do this, right? And I think what's really impressive about this project is a model for how we want to be able to deliver that inclusive growth. So if we accept that it's the right thing to do for development and it's the right thing to do for growth, I think the way that we do this is really, really important. And I think the way the partnership has worked, and I think it's that word that's critical for me, is partnership. So the private sector working with government and working with women who are looking for, who have the skills and are looking for employment. So what, I think these partnerships that UKA and SEEP have developed is that they balance that sort of need for the supply and demand, essentially, for employment of women, young people, whilst addressing some of the key industry and labour market constraints. What we absolutely didn't want to do is just enter into a kind of partnership where we were training people in weaving techniques, kind of in kind of production techniques, but is to actually look at the barriers in this sector and to look at how we can address those as well as improving skills. So I just wanted to give a massive thank you to the SEEP team, who I think have been able to transform a bit the approach that have been taken in skills programs in the past to move beyond that idea of, okay, well, there's this beautiful industry in Nepal, we should just train more people in it, right? Which I think would have failed and been unsuccessful. And so I think the way, building that partnership with the Province 2 and the Bini governments, building the partnership with Label Step, and adding on the kind of skills component to that, for me, has been the element that I think has been a really, really successful. I'm going to stop there, and I'm sad that I'm not going to kind of get to see more of the products and the kind of quality this time, because I need to go off and join another meeting. But I did want to finish, just to kind of reiterate my thanks to the SEEP team, to Stuti Vasner and Baljit particularly, who've kind of really driven the improvements in the programme overall and in this specific partnership. A big thanks to government officials who I think, it's the kind of vision for what matters at the federal and provincial and local levels, what matters to the people that you are trying to support and serve, that has kind of, that sort of driving passion has kind of really come through for me. And I think that it is brilliant. It's exactly the sort of partnerships that UKA wants to be able to work with. So thank you all very much. I hope you have a good rest of the session, and I look forward to catching up with you all again when I'm back in Kathmandu. Thank you.